Lucas is practically walking directly into a meat grinder at Windermere, and I am absolutely terrified that we are about to witness one of the most devastating tragedies on General Hospital in years. If you ask me, the good doctor is playing a game that is way out of his league, and his desperate bid to expose Pascal is going to cost him everything. We all know that Lucas has that classic, stubborn Spencer courage flowing through his veins, but this time, his determination to find justice for Marco is blinding him to the sheer, unadulterated evil lurking in the shadows of Spoon Island. Guys, my heart is in my throat just thinking about what is coming because the stakes have never been higher, and Lucas has no idea that he is poking a sleeping dragon that is ready to tear him to shreds. It seems like Lucas is planning a highly risky, borderline suicidal maneuver by trying to bait the police into launching a full-scale raid on Windermere. Our minds are completely blown by his audacity to use deceased Marco's phone as the ultimate smoking gun to bring Pascal down. We have seen Lucas dealing with intense pressure lately, especially with Detective Joe Fitzpatrick breathing down his neck and demanding answers about the suspicious circumstances surrounding Marco's demise. But instead of letting the professionals handle it, Lucas is taking matters into his own hands, hoping that if he alerts the authorities with just enough tantalizing information, they will swarm the castle, uncover the hidden phone, and force Pascal to slip up. But let me tell you, Pascal is not the type of villain to just sit back and let a doctor dismantle his entire operation. This means that Pascal is already starting to smell a rat, and when a cornered beast feels threatened, they lash out with lethal force. If you ask me, Pascal's paranoia is reaching a fever pitch, and he is starting to view Lucas not just as an annoying nuisance, but as an active, existential threat to his freedom. We can clearly see that Pascal is ready to retaliate, and his retaliatory strike would be absolutely brutal if left unchecked. But here is the massive, mind-boggling twist that nobody expected. Pascal might not even have to get his own hands dirty. There is a much bigger, much more terrifying monster lurking in the dark corridors of Windermere, and he is about to strike first to protect his own skin. Could it be that Cassius is the one who will ultimately pull the trigger on Lucas? Oh, I think it is highly likely, and the reasons are absolutely chilling. We know that Cassius is currently holding Jocelyn and Liesel captive in the deep, cold catacombs of Windermere, keeping them hidden away like dirty little secrets while Liesel is forced to do Cullum's bidding. This unholy alliance between Cassius, Cullum, and Pascal is a house of cards, and Lucas is currently swinging a wrecking ball right at the foundation. If Lucas hands over Marco's phone to Joe Fitzpatrick, it will not just expose Pascal and Cullum, it will bring the entire police force crawling through every single inch of Windermere. And guys, what happens when the cops start searching the secret passages and find Jocelyn? Cassius simply cannot allow that to happen. If you ask me, Cassius helping Pascal and Cullum is not an act of loyalty, it is pure selfish survival. Cassius knows that if Pascal falls, the dominoes will start tumbling, and it is only a matter of time before his own twisted operation is laid bare to the world. So, when Cassius discovers that Lucas has found Marco's phone and is preparing to deliver it directly to the police, his killer instincts will instantly kick into overdrive. We are looking at a scenario where Cassius decides to permanently silence Lucas, not just to do Pascal a favor, but to lock down the secret of Jocelyn's captivity forever. It is a chillingly logical move for a Phazon legacy, and it makes me sick to my stomach to think about poor, innocent Lucas being caught in the crossfire. How will this deadly confrontation actually play out? We can only speculate, but my gut tells me it is going to be a masterpiece of soap opera horror. Picture this. Lucas sneaking around the dark, drafty halls of Windermere, clutching Marco's phone, feeling a momentary rush of triumph as he thinks he is about to win. And then, out of the shadows, Cassius steps forward with that cold, unhinged glare. There will be no screaming, no grand speeches, just a swift, violent ambush designed to look like a tragic accident or a robbery gone wrong. Or perhaps Cassius will leave Lucas beaten, bloody, and clinging to life, a warning to anyone else who dares to trespass on his territory. This leaves us with the terrifying probability that Lucas is going to end up in extremely critical condition, flatlining on a gurney at General Hospital while his devastated family watches in horror. Can you even imagine the absolute nuclear fallout this will cause in Port Charles? Carly is already desperately searching for her missing daughter, Jocelyn, and now she might have to stand vigil over her nephew's comatose body. If you ask me, This double tragedy would push Carly completely over the edge into a state of deliciously unhinged grief and fury. And we know Sonny will not take this lying down either. If his family is being targeted, he will burn Port Charles to the ground to find the monster responsible. Meanwhile, what does this mean for Jocelyn and Liesel, trapped in their subterranean nightmare? If Lucas is incapacitated, the one man who had a clue, the one man who could have inadvertently led the police to their rescue, is silenced. Jocelyn is already trying to use whatever crude tools she can find to plot an escape, but with Cassius on high alert after dealing with Lucas, the security around her is going to tighten like a vice. Liesel, with her sharp mind, will surely sense the shift in the air, suspecting that Cassius has committed another atrocity to keep their presence a secret. It is a race against time, and right now, the villains are winning. Let's not forget about Ross Cullum, the ruthless enforcer, who is pulling so many of these ugly strings from behind the scenes. Cullum needs Liesel's research to succeed, and he needs Britt and Rocco found. Having Lucas snooping around Windermere was a massive liability for Cullum's plans as well. If Cassius takes Lucas out, Cullum gets exactly what he wants without having to lift a finger, cementing this terrifying triumvirate of evil. It is a brilliantly dark storyline, but my heart absolutely breaks for Lucas, who has always been such a beacon of light and decency in a town filled with mobsters and psychopaths. Will Lucas survive this impending nightmare, or are we about to say a permanent, heartbreaking goodbye to one of our favorite doctors? Could his brush with death be the key that finally unlocks the dark secrets of Windermere, or will Cassius's deadly intervention successfully bury the truth about Jocelyn's kidnapping forever? We have so many questions, and the suspense is absolutely killing me. One thing is for certain, guys. The halls of Windermere are dripping with danger, and the next few weeks are going to be a wild, emotional roller coaster that we will never forget. But wait, guys, we need to talk about the massive elephant in the room because the backstage whispers are getting way too loud to ignore. If you ask me, this sudden, ultra-violent turn for Lucas isn't just a random plot point, it smells like a classic soap opera setup for a major casting shakeup. We have been hearing wild rumors that contract negotiations have been incredibly tense behind the scenes, and this brutal attack might be the writer's way of writing the character off the canvas, or at least putting him on ice while they figure out a recast. I'm absolutely sweating bullets here because losing Lucas permanently would be a devastating blow to the hospital's canvas, but you know how the daytime TV machine works. Nobody is safe when contract season rolls around. If Lucas is indeed sidelined, or heaven forbid written out, my insider instincts tell me that the show is clearing the decks for a massive, jaw-dropping legacy return to fill the emotional void. We have all been screaming for a true hero to dismantle this new, corrupted Cassadine regime, and what better way to ignite the screen than bringing back a heavyweight like Lucky to save his family? Picture the absolute chaos if Lucky strides back into Port Charles just as Lucas is fighting for his life and Carly is burning down the town. It would be an absolute masterclass in dramatic timing, and if you ask me, it is exactly the kind of high-octane shot in the arm that General Hospital needs right now to keep us glued to our screens. Whether we are looking at a heartbreaking exit or a brilliant bait-and-switch that leads to a legendary homecoming, the stakes have officially breached the stratosphere. We are standing on the precipice of a total regime change in Port Charles, and I want to know if you guys think Lucas will actually pull through, or if this is the tragic end of his journey. Drop your wildest theories in the comments, keep your eyes locked on those screen credits, and brace yourselves because this wild, unpredictable ride is only getting started.